The elemental guardians. In the beginning, the world was a place of chaos and imbalance. The forces of nature clashed constantly, and the earth struggled to maintain harmony. Seeing the turmoil, the ancient deities decided to create the elemental guardians, beings of immense power, each embodying one of the natural elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether. Chapter 1. The Awakening. The elemental guardians were born from the heart of the earth, each awakening to a world that needed their guidance. Gaia, the guardian of earth, was the first to emerge. With a touch, she could make plants bloom and mountains rise. Her very presence brought stability to the land. As she walked the earth, she felt the cries of the land, devastated by centuries of neglect and war. Next was Zephyr, the guardian of air. He awoke in the highest peaks, where the wind whistled through ancient stone formations. Zephyr had the power to control the winds, bringing gentle breezes or mighty storms. He could listen to the whispers of the wind, carrying messages from across the world. Ignis, the guardian of fire, burst forth from the heart of a volcano. His fiery spirit was both destructive and life-giving. He could create warmth in the coldest places and bring light to the darkest corners of the world. But he also knew the dangers of uncontrolled flames, and his task was to teach the world balance. Undine, the guardian of water, rose from the deepest ocean depths. She was graceful and fluid, with the ability to control the tides and purify water. Undine could communicate with the creatures of the sea and bring rain to parched lands. Her role was to heal and nourish. The last to awaken was Ether, the guardian of ether. Ether was ethereal and mysterious, embodying the energy that connects all living things. He could see into the future and the past, and his wisdom was boundless. Ether's task was to maintain the delicate balance between the physical and spiritual realms. Chapter 2. The Gathering. The elemental guardians felt an innate pull toward each other and gathered at the great oak, an ancient tree said to be the source of all life. As they met, they felt an overwhelming sense of purpose. The world needed their combined strength and wisdom to restore balance and harmony, but their unity was threatened by a dark force. An ancient entity, known only as the Shadow, had been awakened by the same disturbances that brought the Guardians to life. The Shadow thrived on chaos and sought to plunge the world into eternal darkness. It whispered to the hearts of men, sowing seeds of discord and greed. Chapter 3. The Trials. To confront the Shadow, the elemental guardians needed to strengthen their powers and unite their forces. Each guardian faced trials that tested their abilities and their understanding of their roles. Gaia journeyed through the wasteland of desolation, a place where no life could thrive. She learned to draw strength from the smallest seeds of hope and to foster life even in the harshest conditions. Zephyr traveled to the eye of the storm, where he faced tempests and turbulence. He learned to control the winds not through force but through harmony, becoming one with the currents of the air. Ignis descended into the abyss of flames, a place of eternal fire. There, he encountered the destructive potential of his element and learned to temper his flames with compassion and restraint. Undine swam through the maelstrom of depths where the waters were dark and dangerous. She discovered the power of stillness and the importance of clarity, learning to navigate the most turbulent waters with grace. Ether ventured into the veil of time where past, present, and future converged. He learned to see beyond the immediate and to understand the interconnectedness of all things, embracing the wisdom of the ages. Chapter 4. The Battle. Having completed their trials, the elemental guardians were ready to face the Shadow. The final battle took place in the Valley of Echoes, a place where all sounds of the past could be heard. The shadow, a swirling mass of darkness and despair, sought to engulf the world. The Guardians combined their powers, creating a barrier of elemental energy. Gaia's earth provided a foundation. Zephyr's winds directed the flow. Ignis's fire burned away the darkness. Undine's water purified. And Ether's ether connected them all, allowing them to share their strength. The battle was fierce, but the Guardians' unity and determination were stronger. As they fought, they realized that the shadow was not just an external force, but also represented the darkness within all beings. To truly defeat it, they needed to bring light to the hearts of all living creatures. With a final, unified effort, the elemental guardians channeled their energies into a burst of pure, radiant light. The shadow was dispelled, and the Valley of Echoes was filled with the harmonious sounds of life. Chapter 5. The New Dawn. With the shadow defeated, the world began to heal. The Guardians continued their work, nurturing the land and guiding humanity toward a better future. They became legends, their stories passed down through generations. The elemental guardians knew that their task was never truly complete. As long as the world existed, there would always be a need for balance and harmony. And so, they watched over the earth, ready to awaken whenever they were needed again. In time, the guardians faded into myth, but their legacy lived on. People learned to respect the elements and the delicate balance of nature. The Guardians' teachings became the foundation of a new era of peace and understanding. And though the Guardians were no longer seen, their presence was felt in every breeze, every flame, every drop of water, every grain of soil, and every whisper of the ether. They were the protectors of the world, the elemental guardians, and their story was a reminder of the power of unity and the importance of caring for the Earth epilogue. The legacy generations. Later, the world had changed, but the teachings of the elemental guardians remained. In a small village near the Great Oak, a young child with eyes like the ocean and hair like the flames stood before the ancient tree. They had heard the stories of the guardians and felt a strange connection to them. As the child touched the tree, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and the ground beneath their feet seemed to hum with energy. The child smiled, sensing the presence of the guardians. They knew that the legacy of Gaia, Zephyr, Ignis, Undine, and Ether lived on, not just in the elements, but in the hearts of those who believed in harmony and balance. The child vowed to honor the Guardians' teachings, to protect the earth, and to spread the message of unity and peace. And so, the story of the elemental guardians continued, a timeless tale of courage, wisdom, and the enduring power of nature.